Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my predicted 11 for Manchester United's game against West Ham. So I'm going to go with the 4-3-3 formation. In goal, David De Gea. David De Gea was in goal in Manchester United's 3-1 win against Brentford recently. He made some fantastic saves in that first half. Got to give David De Gea credit, he's done really well this season. He's now back to his best. This season is his 11th season at Manchester United, so reflecting on that, he's been a long servant. He's been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. And earlier on this season, he mentioned that he's planning to spend many more years at Manchester United. His contract at Manchester United expires next year. De Gea receives £375,000 a week. He has won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. Revert back to last summer, De Gea reclaimed the #1 spot back as he did decide to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks. Manchester United got De Gea from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. At right back, I'm going to go with Diego Dalot. Diego Dalot is our first choice right back under Rangnick. He played in the 3-1 win against Brentford. I thought Diego Dalot played well. He showed some good attacking intent and I thought he was good defensively. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a doubt for this game because he's been out with COVID. Revert back to Dalot. Do you think he could leave Manchester United this year? Well, he's been subjected to transfer speculation before. Dalot's been at the club now for a few years. We brought him in under the Jose Mourinho era. Manchester United got Dalot from Porto for £19 million. Last season, he had a loan spell with AC Milan, so reflecting on that, he gained some experience. The two centre-backs, I'm going to go with Harry Maguire and Raphael Varane. I do think Harry Maguire will come in for Victor Lindelof. Harry Maguire didn't start against Brentford, but he did come on in the game to replace Cristiano Ronaldo. Harry Maguire had an injury not so long ago. Revert back to earlier on in the season, he had a calf injury, and towards the end of last season, he had ligament damage in his ankle. Harry Maguire is enduring a very poor season. He certainly wasn't worth the 80 million that Manchester United paid for him. Maguire is the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and is the second most expensive signing at the club. Maguire has been at Manchester United for over 2 years. Earlier on in the season, though, he spoke out and he admitted that he's sick of Manchester United's poor form, and he also said that the Man United players were letting the fans down. And Maguire said that Ralph Rangnick is not all to blame for the poor performances. So I got to agree with him what he said on that aspect. Raphael Varane. Now, he played very well in the 3-1 win against Brentford, especially in that first half. Defensively, Varane was good. He brought the ball out well from the back and he made some very good clearances. Most of the time when Varane plays, he seems to make the difference. He's had 2 injuries since he signed for the club. The first injury he got was a groin injury, and the one after that was a hamstring injury. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced, and he's got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at Real Madrid. Manchester United got Varane last summer. Got him for 41 million. With add-ons included, Man United paid 34 million up front. He's under contract to Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. So yeah, I think Maguire and Varane will be the 2 centre backs. Obviously, Bailly's not available at the moment because he's at the African Cup of Nations. At left back, Alex Telles, because Luke Shaw recently picked up an injury. It's actually said Luke Shaw is out until early February. Alex Telles is our first choice left back under Ralph Rangnick. Telles played in the 3-1 win against Brentford. To be honest with you, I don't think he was too good in that game, but he did put some dangerous crosses into the box. Telles has had some good games this season, especially under Rangnick. The reason Manchester United brought him in was to provide competition for Luke Shaw. Earlier on this season, Telles had an injury. We got him from Porto back in 2020. Manchester United got him for 15.4 million with add-ons included. I recently heard that Barcelona are interested in Telles, so do you think he could leave the club this year? He's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation before. Now, the 3 midfielders, I'm going to go with Fred, Scott McTominay and Bruno Fernandez. Fred, I've got to give him credit. He played well in the 3-1 win against Brentford. Fred got the assist for Anthony Alanga's goal. It was a lovely ball by Fred to pick him out. Fred also got an assist in the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa last weekend. You know, Fred has had his good games, but he's had a lot of bad games as well. Manchester United got Fred a few years ago from Shakhtar Donetsk. Got him for 50 million. Got to make an admission, I thought Fred was an exceptional player during his time in Ukraine. Scott McTominay, without a doubt, he's been our best performer under Ralph Rangnick. He's undroppable at the moment. McTominay was very good against Brentford recently. Defensively, he was good. He kept the ball well, got into good positions. And he was involved in the build-up to 2 of the goals against Brentford. Obviously, Mctominay missed a 2-2 draw against Aston Villa last weekend because he was suspended. Mctominay played very well in the cup game against Villa. He got man of the match and he only scored the only goal of that game. You know, McTominay needs more time at Man United. He's still young, got a lot of development in him. He's been part of the club for a long time. Revert back to 2020, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United. Bruno Fernandez, he's played well in the last 2 games. He played really well against Brentford. Bruno Fernandez got 2 assists against Brentford. And in the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa last weekend, he scored both of Manchester United's goals. Obviously, the first goal from Fernandez came from a howler from the Aston Villa goalkeeper Martinez. And the second goal from Fernandez came from a poor mistake by Morgan Sanson. The last 2 games are probably the best games that Fernandez has enjoyed so far this season because he's actually been inconsistent in a lot of games this season. Revert back to last season, Bruno Fernandez was superb. He is one of our best players and he's certainly one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Not so long ago, the Athletic said that Bruno Fernandez rejected a contract offer from Manchester United. Bruno Fernandez contract talks are postponed until the summer, having turned down an offer last year. It says Bruno Fernandez is demanding similar money to the top earners at the club. Fernandez receives £100,000 a week at the moment. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. Fernandez has been a Manchester United player for 2 years. Man United got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. So I think they'll be the 3 midfielders. Obviously Paul Pogba is still out with that hip injury. Rangnick confirmed that Paul Pogba will return after the international break. Left wing, I'm going to go with Anthony Alanga. Anthony Alanga scored in the 3-1 win against Brentford. That was his first goal of the season. It was a very good header. Alanga also started the game against Aston Villa last weekend. He played well in that one. He was unlucky not to score. You know, his link-up play was good. Made good runs, got in some good positions. He had a couple of good chances against Aston Villa. Anthony Alanga looks a very good asset for the first team squad. He's made quite a few first team appearances now. He's been part of the club for a long time, raising up our academy. Now, he joined Manchester United's academy at the age of 12. Revert back towards the end of last year, he signed a new contract with Man United until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Earlier on this season, I heard that Anthony Alanga could be going out on loan to a championship club. Do you think we should loan him out? Well, it would gain him more experience. You know, he's still very, very young. I think he's, 19, is he? The right wing, I'm going to go with Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood did well against Brentford. Greenwood scored against Brentford. Obviously, it was a tap-in. Greenwood played last weekend in the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa. He was greedy at times in that game. Greenwood had chances in that game against Villa, but unfortunately he didn't convert them. Earlier on this season, it said Greenwood was upset that Ronaldo always starts. And revert back to 2019, Manchester United offered Mason Greenwood a life-changing amount of money for him to leave. But he made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7. And obviously last season, Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. And the striker, I'm going to go with Cristiano Ronaldo. That's if he's fit. I give you the news on Cristiano Ronaldo on my last video. It said Cristiano Ronaldo is a doubt for Manchester United's clash with West Ham with a neck injury. Cristiano Ronaldo did start in the game against Brentford recently, but he got taken off, and Ronaldo was furious for being substituted against Brentford, but Ralph Rangnick defended his decision to substitute Ronaldo against Brentford. Prior to the Brentford game, Ronaldo missed Manchester United's last 2 games because of injury. Like I updated you earlier on today, it said Ronaldo faces a 25% pay cut should Manchester United fail to qualify for the Champions League. Well, Ronaldo will leave Manchester United if they fail to qualify for the Champions League. As you all know, Ronaldo is demanding more from the youngsters because Ronaldo's been critical of the youngsters. He did give an interview the other week. And obviously he is backing Ralph Rangnick to do a good job at Man United. Ronaldo said, I'm not at Man United to compete for 6th or 7th. He said finishing below 3rd is unacceptable. But if Ronaldo is not fit to play in this game against West Ham, I'm going to go with Marcus Rashford up top because Edison Cavani is also a doubt because Cavani recently picked up an injury. Marcus Rashford, he didn't start against Brentford, but he came on and scored. You know, Rashford finally ended his 3-month goal drought. I don't want Marcus Rashford to start because Marcus Rashford has been out of form since he had that operation on his shoulder. He hasn't been the same player. He missed the first 2 months of the season with that shoulder problem. Not so long ago he picked up a leg injury. Rashford has, 18 months left on his current £200,000 a week deal. It said not so long ago that Rashford prepares to open contract talks with Manchester United. He's been part of the club for a long time. Rashford came up our academy and that he's been a United player since the age of 7 and he broke into our senior squad back in 2016. Reports from Spain said earlier on this season he could leave Man United. He said Barcelona and PSG were said to be interested in him. So yeah, that's how I think Manchester United could line up against West Ham. This will be a difficult game for Manchester United because West Ham are enjoying a very good season to their standards. You know, they are 4th in the Premier League. They're into the last 16 of the Europa League. You know, there again, West Ham lost their last game to Leeds 3-2. Jack Harrison got a hat-trick in that game for Leeds. David Moyes will be having a reunion with Manchester United tomorrow. You've got to give David Moyes credit. He's doing really well in his second spell at West Ham. Obviously didn't do well in his first spell at West Ham. Moyes has been West Ham manager for over 2 years in his second spell. He's under contract with West Ham until 2024. Obviously before West Ham he managed Sunderland. He did resign at Sunderland because Sunderland got relegated when they had Moyes. Before then he was at Real Sociedad. He ended up getting sacked from Real Sociedad because he wasn't good there. Before then obviously he was at Manchester United. Moyes was at Manchester United for 10 months. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. That's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. Obviously before then was at Everton. He was at Everton a while ago, but he was a long-serving manager at Everton. He was with them for 11 years, and before Everton he was at Preston. So there you go. And West Ham, have got a good squad like I mentioned on the preview. Look who they've got in the team. They've got Pablo Fornals, that's good. They've got Ben Rama. Ben Rama, he's not in contention to play in this game because he's at the African Cup of Nations. They've got Jared Bowen. West Ham have Manuel Lanzini. They have Mikel Antonio. They also have Yarmolenko. They've got Thomas Souček, that's good. They've got Nikola Vlasic. They've got Vladimir Kufal. They've got Mark Noble. Mark Noble is out with injury at the moment. Mark Noble has been a very long-serving player for West Ham. They got Craig Dawson. West Ham got Craig Dawson from Watford. Well, at one point West Ham had him on loan, and then West Ham, of course, decided to get Craig Dawson permanently. They've got Declan Rice. He's one of the best players that West Ham have got. Declan Rice has been a long-serving player at West Ham. He's under contract with them until 2024. He's predominantly a defensive midfielder, but he can also be deployed as a centre-half. Obviously, before West Ham, Declan Rice was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he actually never got into Chelsea's first team. West Ham value Declan Rice at £100 million. They've also got Alex Kral as well. Issa Diop, he's a good centre-half. Kurt Zouma's a good defender. Kurt Zouma's out with injury. Ogbonna's a good defender. Ogbonna won't be playing in this game because he's out for the season. Aaron Cresswell, he's a good left-back for West Ham. I think he's one of the best left-backs in the Premier League. Ben Johnson, he's a good defender. They've got Winston Reid. They've got Ryan Fredericks, pretty good right-back. So there you go. They've got a pretty good team. A couple of the goalkeepers West Ham have got. They've obviously got Areola and they've got Fabianski. Let me put into the equation, West Ham lost Sebastian Haller. They also lost Felipe Anderson, and Frederick Ibsen left West Ham. And there's other players as well that have left them. Manchester United won this fixture at Old Trafford last season in the Premier League 1-0. Man United won away at West Ham in the league earlier on this season 2-1. If you do remember rightly, Lingard came off the bench and scored the winner, and De Gea saved a penalty at the end. West Ham knocked Man United out of the Carabao Cup earlier on this season, 1-0. That was the first time West Ham won at Old Trafford since 2007. But, you know, I am really looking forward to this game. As it stands at the moment, Manchester United are 2 points behind West Ham. You know, Man United win, Man United will go above West Ham. But I assume Man United will be coming into this game with confidence, reflecting on that 3-1 win against Brentford. As for Rangnick, you know, he's lost 1 game so far as Man United manager. You know, he's been Man United's interim manager for almost 2 months now. Prior to the Brentford game, Rangnick announced Manchester United's new formation, and obviously it is the 4-3-3. So Rangnick obviously scrapped that 4-2-2 formation. Obviously that formation isn't working. Revert back to earlier on this season, there was reports saying that Rangnick is already losing the dressing room at Man United, and it mentioned that 17 Manchester United players are unhappy. And it said Rangnick was already under pressure, but earlier on in this window, Rangnick got told that transfer funds are available for him this month. He said Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role when he's been the interim manager, but if Man United don't finish in the top 4, I think the consultancy role is in serious doubt for him. Before Man United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Prior to the Brentford game, it said Man United could appoint the next permanent manager this season. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.